welcome back to InsideFlix. We're back to do our weekly box office report. So let's start it off. Rich, tell us which films made the top 5.
Coming in number 1 this weekend is Dragon Ball Superhero with 21 million. Coming in number 2 is Beast with 11.5 million. And number 3 is Brad Pitt's Bullet Train with 8 million. Coming in 4, the Tom Cruise once again with Top Gun Maverick with 5.9 million. And rounding out the top 5 is DC League of Super Pets with 5.6 million.
So Dragon Ball Superhero was the one that topped the box office this week, beating out Beast. We kind of guessed that this was going to be number 1, but I was not expecting that big of a number.
Yeah, it's actually probably double what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be barely over Beast, but we knew that Dragon Ball definitely has its own niche market.
Yeah, it's no real surprise here that Dragon Ball Super came in at number 1. Beast also came in, I guess, kind of a bit slightly better than expected. Still not good, but it's better than expected. And it's still a very sad box office. So looking at the whole top 10, I mean, this is just very sad numbers. And Top Gun Maverick, while it's still holding pretty strong, I mean, it seems like it's not going to be there much longer because the movie's now finally on VOD, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's out on Tuesday.
Yeah, so I imagine that's going to cause it to have a big dip next week.
And they also recently announced Thor: Love and Thunder will be on Disney Plus too in September. So
yeah.
Well, to go back to Dragon Ball Superhero, I think this is an indicator that the box office numbers really kind of skew to younger audiences. And when you think of younger audiences, they do love these Japanese animation films and TV shows.
I wouldn't necessarily say a lot of it's younger audiences.
Yeah, that's true.
I would just go as far as say that anime has really just become mainstream over the past couple of years. Because I remember when I was a little kid, anime was like very like niche. Like it was like it was not, it did not have the popularity that it has now. And while the box office numbers for like Dragon Ball Super aren't like, Avengers numbers or anything like that, I think the kind of the popularity and stuff, the kind of the normalization of superheroes that's happened because of the Marvel movies over the past decade, I think that's kind of happened with anime and this on a smaller scale over the past I'd say like 10 years or so. It's become very beloved and accepted. That's what I'm trying to say.
Again, this week, let's talk about Top Gun Maverick, which I think pulled in 4th place. It has done super well domestically. It has surpassed Titanic, and it has just passed Avengers Infinity War. What is the next movie in line? I mean, I think the
domestic wise is Black Panther and then Avatar, which is Black Panther is still a possibility, but Avatar is way off. I think it
would have to make another 20 to 30 million to pass Black Panther.
Yeah, and since it's being out on VOD, I think that it's going to be close.
Okay, now, Rich, let's talk about the rest of the top 10 box office.
Number 6, the number 6 movie is Thor: Love and Thunder. Number 7 movie is Minions: The Rise of Gru. Coming in number 8 is Jordan Peele's Nope. Coming in number 9 is Where the Crawdads Sing. And coming number 10 is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And we should mention that Elvis came in number 11th, and 12 was Orphan First Kill.
Yeah, so Orphan First Kill came out only in 500 screens, so it was a very limited release in theaters, but it was available on VOD and also Paramount Plus. It was actually the most buzzed about movie over the weekend. People talked about it. Mm-hmm. It's strange that they picked this month. I mean, I think that movie would have been better if they picked like say October.
Right.
To release it because it feels more like a a Halloween type of romp, I guess you could say.
Sure. Or at least late September.
All right, so let's look ahead at what's coming out this week. Rich, what movies are coming out Friday in wide release?
George Miller's 3,000 Years of Longing and Sony Pictures' The Invitation.
All right, so The Invitation is this kind of suspense thriller that stars Game of Thrones and Fast and Furious actress Natalie Emmanuel. 3,000 Years of Longing is George Miller's latest film. This is his first film since Mad Max Fury Road, and this stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. Which one do you think is going to be the bigger box office here?
It depends on if 3,000 Years of Longing is going to be that wide.
They have to be over 1,000 now. But I think it's going to probably be The Invitation, just because I think some people will will come out and see it. And also, I could see it being that movie, like when people show up to the theaters and like they don't plan on a movie to watch, they just read the titles. They're like, "What's the invitation?" You know.
Well, I would say this trailer for 3,000 Years of Longing was, I think, one of the better trailers I've seen this year. It is kind of a weird movie. It's a fantasy tinge drama about a genie in a bottle, basically.
Yeah.
And I think one of the quotes said something like, "This is a fairy tale for adults." So yeah, it's really a kind of a small demographic that the movies try to target it. But will it be enough to be number one? I don't think so.
Well, the marketing for the movie also hasn't been very, strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they released that trailer online. I don't think I ever saw the trailer for the movie play in theaters. I mean, there's some posters for it, around places, but I don't know. I don't think the marketing has been very strong for very good for the movie at all. So I mean, that will also hurt it, I think.
Yeah, I think this weekend is going to be an extremely low number. I think we're at the tail end of summer. Like we said last week, we're going through a box office drought.
Yeah, the question was, which these movies is going to have a bigger opening. I think definitely The Invitation. Unfortunately, I think 3,000 Years of Longing looks interesting. I'm going to see the movie this weekend, but I think it's going to probably only make 3 or 4 million opening weekend.
All right, let's look into the limited release. Rich, what movies are coming out in limited release?
Bleecker Street's Breaking and A24's Funny Pages.
So Breaking, it stars John Boyega. He is a disgruntled Marine who breaks into a
bank, right?
Bank. Yes, he breaks into a bank because he's been denied health benefits. This is based on a true story. It did well, I think, in Sundance or one of those film festivals. It also features one of the final performances of the late, great Michael K. Williams. I don't know if a lot of people are going to see that or even know that this is coming out this week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Funny Pages is an A24 film about aspiring teenage cartoonist who wants to become a professional comic book artist. This was written and directed by Owen Klein. He is the son of Kevin Kline and Phoebe Cates. This is his directorial debut. Another film that did well in festivals, but again, these movies are most likely going to get lost.
Right, which is a shame because out of everything, I think everything opening up this week, and I think Breaking had the chance to make the most out of in the box office if it had a wider marketing and opening.
Yeah, man, that's the problem with a lot of these movies. It's just nothing's getting marketed. I mean, even the stuff like and net on streaming, like they just put those movies out.
Yeah, exactly.
With no marketing. It's just this is such a weird time. I mean, everyone's competing for numbers, but they're not marketing their content unless if it's something that costs $200 million.
Well, yeah. Speaking of streaming, let's look into streaming now because we got a couple big names that are going to be released on streaming this week. Rich, what is that?
Sylvester Stallone's new Amazon Prime film, The Samaritan, where he plays a superhero. And also on Netflix, the Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg buddy comedy, Me Time.
Yeah, Samaritan, I saw the trailer and this looks interesting to see Sly Stallone as a kind of aging superhero vigilante. Me Time, it's Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg again. I don't know. These are kind of interesting choices for streaming.
Honestly, I'd kind of rather just stay home and watch these crappy movies than go to the movie theaters and watch those other crappy movies. Because look, I mean, Samaritan, like, it's probably going to be a crap film. It looks like the type of movie that, like, I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger would have done, like, in the late 90s, like an End of Days or something like that, mixed with, like, Hancock. And it somehow feels even more dated than those movies. But still, I mean, it's Sly Stallone playing a superhero, so I'm definitely going to watch that. And then what was the other one? Me Time. I mean, Mark Wahlberg, that guy, I hate Mark Wahlberg so much. I mean, it feels like he's completely given up on his career. But for some reason in Me Time, it looks like he's actually going to be trying. He's going to be giving a fun performance. So I don't know. I'll probably watch that as well.
We should also add that they're going to be re-releasing Rogue One back in theaters this week in 150 IMAX screens across the U.S. on August 26th.
And here's the real question: will it outgross E.T.'s IMAX re-release?
That's interesting. Do people want to go back to see Rogue One? I know the prequel series.
That's the question, right?
Well, I know the prequel series is coming up, Andor's coming up, so I don't know. I don't know if there's really any interest in this. Rich, you're a big Star Wars fan. What you think?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be too much competition on streaming, and there's also other stuff to watch.
Well, I do like the idea that theaters are thinking outside of the box. For instance, next week they're going to release in theaters the first 2 episodes of Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power. That's going to be a special theatrical event for one night only. They need something to really fill in this kind of dry season.
Yeah, it's smart, and they're also not just doing that, but they're doing a lot of sports events. They'll play in the movie theaters now, concerts. I mean, another thing that was very huge this year was the K-pop.
Yes,
the K-pop crap that was released in theaters. That was very successful.
The live concert.
And and another thing that I keep seeing advertised in Cinemark, and I know this is going to make Richard roll his eyes, but I mean, hey, look, this is Cinemark trying to stay afloat, trying to make money. And they're going to also be doing the live video game online shit in the theater. People could watch the video game tournaments in the theater, which is so strange. People are going to be watching video games in the theater screen.
Well, I think that's what theaters owners have to do nowadays. I mean,
if they make all their money through the popcorn and stuff, I mean, who throw whatever on the screen that'll bring people in. That's the only option.
Well, there you go. That was our box office report. We'll be back next week with see how well these new movies do in the box
or
office.
how bad they do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more likely.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back next week with the box office results, and then we'll talk about the new movies that are coming out. Thank you for watching InsideFlix. All right, bye-bye.